Before I start the video, huge trigger warning, graphic content for educational purposes. There will be a Mounjaro overdose on camera. It was accidental, but there it is. Injecting Mounjaro on camera talks about injecting illegal drugs, mild nudity but not in a sexual way, eating disorders, depression, bipolar, mania, being sectioned, police, fire, ambulance, all emergency services, me being very sick on Mounjaro, me being intoxicated in most of the videos, life and death, serious medical incidences. This is my life as an addict and it's a serious risk. Self-harm and suicide attempts, there'll be talks about them on this. There's no visuals of that today, luckily. If those are not something you are in a place to watch, please watch a different video. Maybe this is not the video for you. Thank you so much, anyone who does watch. I hope it helps someone. Lots and lots of love. Enjoy the video. They went in my thigh, the front of my thigh. They missed the muscle and hit the vein. The bruise has gone from halfway up my knee to halfway up my crotch. Fuck knows how I'm going to edit this, but it's just going to take fucking days. Right, little update today. So, I'm going to film the first time of me dosing on camera on Mounjaro. If that's something you'd not like to watch, feel free to look away. I'm sure the verbal's not going to be that horrendous. I don't know what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not really, so I'd like to check on for that. I have syringed out of the golden dose of Mounjaro on my mum's pen, because my mum's on it, for legitimate reasons. Do you know what? I'm going to leave it in because I want to see how YouTube reacts to me shooting up on camera, basically. It's not really shooting up, it's not having a jolly up, but we are using the Mounjaro pen on camera. I don't need to be showing people how to do this. You know, there's other videos out there. That is not my channel. I don't feel the need to talk about, this is what drugs we're using and this is how we prepare it, because people don't need to learn that. I only learned to fucking do that from watching a stupid documentary. It was quite a good documentary. It's very sad though. This should be hopefully the first positive drug addiction documentary. We try and stay clean, but when we're not, we try and smile. So, I've deliberately miscounted, I've overcounted, so that it's more than a 10 milligram. I'm doing the math of 0.6 mils is one dose of any pen. So if it's 12.5 milligram pen or a 5 or a 2.5, 0.6 mils will be one full dose of a pen. So I divide that by 6 and then I syringe out how many mils I want that week, because I like fluctuating dosage so that I don't grow a tolerance. But I've not been doing that for the past month or so because I've been kind of back on drugs quite a lot. So yeah. I don't think I'll be showing this part until a bit later on in the video. Or it might be a nice place to start, I don't know. I took an extra dose after just 3.5 days today, which is ridiculously early. No one should be doing that. And I did that because I wanted the drugs cravings to go away, because I'm going to die if I don't stop drugs. And I just can't do it when I'm this mentally ill. And I'm totally mentally stable after dosing on Mounjaro. And I know I'm a bit manic now, but that's just because I've been up for 4 days. But I'm so much more stable than I was before I did this. I'd be the happiest person, honestly, in a mental institution. I'm not happy that I'd be in there, but whenever I'm this happy, everyone wants to section me, so... But I'm clever and I talked myself out of it the next day. Oh, I don't even know where to go. It's just, you know, I have to kind of pinch. You guys have seen my fucking belly by this point. It's not very much, and I don't have the syringe end side. I don't have that much fat to pinch, so I have to pinch. Anyway, it's really the only excess skin I have, apart from my tits, but they're horrendous, because my highest was a 40 double J cup at about 240 pounds or 17 stone, 110 kilos. That was about 7-8 years ago. And then I became a big drug addict for 4 years, lost about 4.5 stone, kept off 4.5 stone. That's where I was at when I started Mounjaro in October. So I think this is going to go at the beginning of the video now. And long story short, I got Mounjaro because I've got an eating disorder. I was 12 and 10, nearly 80 kilos I guess, 76 kilos I think, when I started on the 12th of October. But I woke up after a couple of days like, oh my god, I don't need any drugs. And I was daily injecting by this point still. Had been for 2 years, had been filming it because I thought I was going to die. Still might. And I didn't want another family to have to go through this shit. So I thought someone would find these videos after I was dead, honestly. But yeah, I woke up and just quit like that. Well, I say that I'm back on it recently. But it is now nearly in June of 2025. And I was off drugs until about a month ago, mostly. Going in. Into my belly, yeah. Borderline happy and borderline sad, borderline calm and I'm borderline mad, borderline sober, I'm borderline clean, I'm borderline the most that the world has ever seen. I feel it straight away. That shit, it's a whole extra dose. I fucked up. Took way too much. I'm gonna be very fucking sick. So not only did I have a 10 milligram 4 days ago, I think I've now just accidentally injected about 15 milligrams today. Oh shit. But it was the rest of the pen. It was going to go in the bin. Fuck it. I'm choosing to be sick over being a drug addict. Bleeding. That's how you know you ain't got enough body fat to be on this fucking drug. It's not an allergic reaction, but that's way too much for my body. Hopefully it lowers my blood sugar, because I've still got a lot of crystal meth in my system right now, and ketamine and cocaine. Really sick. What a idiot. I can taste it in my mouth, and that wasn't 15 today, that was 20 milligrams 4 days after injecting a 10. This is why people who are on lots of drugs probably shouldn't be on it. It's the least guaranteed risk of dying that I have right now. I'm really sick. I might have to go to hospital. No, fuck that. I'm not fucking going there killing them cunts. I can really taste that in my mouth. Oh my god. I've done this once before by accident, but not this much, and I threw up blood within a couple of hours, so I will see how I'm feeling. Wish me luck. I think I'm still high. I know I'm still high because I said hello to a backpiss teddy that was not even mine. I've been up for 4 days. Again, this is how I get sectioned. Alright, I will be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to put on some makeup. Please stick around. I promise it won't be awful. I'll be back in a sec. I think that is mildly better. Mounjaro's still working because, like, usually I'd have to cover up my face like this to cover up all the fucking meth sores. But yeah, I'm gonna try and cover a lot and be quick in this video. I don't want to trigger anybody. I am in active usage at the moment, so if you don't want to watch me because of that, totally understand. I don't want to encourage anybody in their addiction, and I know I look alright now considering all of the drugs I'm going to tell you in a minute. I don't have a lot of energy today, so I'm going to try and get to the point. I've been in a bit of a critical condition, and my addiction's also at a critical point in my recovery. I think I'm going to show a bruise because it's relevant to the point I'm trying to make in this video, and I think it's quite hard to picture in your head what that looks like. I've never seen one before like this. It's a very big bruise. It's a bit of a complicated one. A life-threatening one, if you will. I got sectioned about 10 days ago. I've been sectioned quite a lot of times the last month, but I was sectioned, the most recent one was a week ago. They tranquilised me in my thigh because I was kicking off. Totally deserved it. This is why I'm not suing. The first one didn't do anything because I was in such a state. I will tell this whole story properly at some point, but just for now it's too much for me, my health today. So I was kicking off such a state. I'd had like armed police, normal police, paramedics and fire brigades at my house. Had a really bad mental episode and they thought I was armed. I wasn't even thinking about grabbing a weapon until I saw the armed police show up with their fucking riot shields and batons. I shouldn't laugh. I laugh when I'm awkward. I'm very autistic. I just redosed stupidly early today. Double dosed on purpose because it's managing my mental health needs so well. And my borderline personality disorder is horrific and it's gonna ruin every fucking relationship and friendship and my drug recovery if I didn't medicate today. So I double dosed anyway on Mounjaro. Blah 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 blah. My eating disorders, ADHD, borderline and bipolar, mania, psychosis, all of that is managed so well on Mounjaro that I don't feel my autism. So excuse that today. Got sectioned. They tranquilised me with a full dose of what they can give any adult, and I was still able to kick up a fight because I had a high drug tolerance because I've been using all week. And thank God I had, because I would have died otherwise with what we did next. Well, I think my exact words are like, come on motherfuckers, you're gonna have to do more than that, bitches, hey, like, just in a state, it's always so embarrassing. I was still able to stand up and kick up a fight on the highest dose they're allowed to give you of intramuscular tranquilizer. I think they used Valium and ketamine. Nice mix, and an antipsychotic. Anyway, they did that one, and yeah, they signed off some paperwork because I was still kicking off such a state that within 5 minutes they had the next injection ready. I was obviously fighting at this point, and this is another reason why I don't want to sue for their fuck up, even though it could result in me dying, because I mean, like, I'm an intravenous addict. You try shooting somebody up who's fucking thrashing about and actively trying to fight you, it's not going to go great. Anyway, they went in my thigh, the front of my thigh. They missed the muscle and hit the vein, the big fuck off vein that goes like, well, the bruise has gone from halfway up my knee to halfway of my crotch. So I originally thought it was from being pinned down, but it's been about 10 days now since that bruise was made. As the bruising's faded away, you can see the vein right through it. The vein's about that wide. And like I mean, it's that wide anyway, because I can see it on my other leg because I'm quite underweight at the moment. Or a little bit underweight. Medically, I guess. Luckily not enough to be tube fed. Thank fuck, by one BMI point. One BMI point. That is... no thank you. So I've still got a bit of an eating disorder. I'm on 10 milligrams Mounjaro at the moment. A bit manic. I think I'm still high, to be honest, because I've had ketamine, crystal meth, crack. I don't need a whole shit list, but I've injected everything. So I blew out my own veins on my arms. I don't need to show. I'm sure you would have glimpsed at them anyway. But like I look like I've got tan because there's a bruise that big on that arm. And I've been falling over a lot, lots of K-holes. So the elbow bruises, they're not injecting. Obviously, I don't inject there. Why would you? But my leg bruise, I've got impact bruises that I wanted to show for comparison, right? And this is what makes me think even more that this is a vein that's burst. Apart from the fact that I know what that looks like usually, but I don't inject that high up in my legs ever. And I know what it looks like in your arms, but your legs are a lot bigger than your arms. Yeah, I'm just going to show you that. So skip 1 minute. I'll do a timestamp when I learn how to do that. But I mean, I'm going to show you my impact bruises first, which are from falling over and landing on the bone of my coccyx and the back of my hip bones yesterday. No, a couple of days ago. I've been on drugs for about a week, and then I'll show my thigh, but I've not figured out yet how to clip. I have, but I'm too exhausted to clip together like me talking over the video, and if I don't post this now, I will never post my documentary. So right, here we go. Here's the bruises. Last trigger warning. Bum 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 bum. Trying to stay landscape so it's bearable to watch. That's bad. These are the impact bruises. I'm not going to put it does go down further and up higher, but that's from falling over onto my spine, coccyx and hip bones. Super fun side effects. I'm being sarcastic. You guys probably don't know me that well yet. YouTube, don't ban me. I swear I've got a short dress on. It's just very short. Right. How attractive. Anyway, any doctors watching, please let me know. Am I gonna die? Yeah, you can quite clearly see the vein going through that. Yeah. Okay, trigger warning over. Back to the video. I think it's pretty easy for anyone who saw that. Thanks for watching. Those who didn't have to cover your eyes, but totally fine and understandable if you did. There's no way that's not a vein. And all of my other bruises have healed, and I had bruises this big on the sides of my hips from getting pinned down and strained, and obviously my bones were digging the floor, the sides of my the top of my femur bones, it's like your thigh bone, shins, ankles, elbows. Like I had worse bruises that I've healed, and these are new ones. I had black eye, I think. Well, that was the week before getting sectioned that time. All my other bruises had healed. It's just this one on my thigh. After I got sectioned, I'm going to be quick because I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the last video, but after I got sectioned, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep my speech at one level of speed. not that type of speed. It's very difficult. My brain's kind of gone. I've been up for a long time. I'm dying, basically. My kidneys packed in before I did all these drugs this week. Lollipop. The hospital put me on a high sugar diet because my blood sugar levels were so low from the Mounjaro, like averaging 2 to 3 when they're supposed to be 7, I believe. But I've taken it today after doing like crystal meth for a couple of days, and my blood sugar was at 9 after not eating for 3 days, which is fucking high. That's high. I've never had it that high ever. And I'm still trying to come off sugar, so maybe I've just got a lot of sugar left in my system. But anyway, since going back on the sugar diet, that's when all my drug cravings came back to the point that I couldn't just not take them. And I had used before that anyway. Because being this clean, this sounds really stupid and it's such a drug addict statement to make, but being this clean made drugs enjoyable again. Because it's no fun when your face is falling off and your family will hate you and or can't be around you because you're an asshole to them. And you don't realise how many people know you're a junkie until you get clean and they go, oh wow, you look great, you've obviously been sober. You're like, I don't even know your first name, mate. And you get your life back and you start having money again. And being able to get dressed and washed and have a reasonably tidy house and not be a hoarder are really mental. And you can use a little bit then, and then your life doesn't fall to shit straight away. And that's when it's really hard. That's when I find it the hardest, I think, to not relapse properly, because it just feels like, haha, you're all so stupid, I'm fooling everyone. And it takes quite a while before you're not fooling them. But my recovery is at a critical state today. This is why I put up on the Mounjaro, even though all my bones are poking out and I clearly don't need to be losing any more weight. But I don't think I'll survive another month or 2 if I don't go up a dose, because I've been sectioned 3 weeks in a row. And the last one I was kept in hospital for 6 days after
I nearly killed myself by accident by just being a junkie, but then the hospital obviously made a mistake and went into a vein instead of the muscle. Even though I've got 5% fucking body fat, I don't know how you miss muscle on someone who's got that much fucking muscle compared to everything else in their body. But I think it's just, I'm not suing, and it's not the NHS's fault, and you know, like they did nothing wrong. People make mistakes at all kinds of jobs. I've made mistakes at work. I think all of us have. It's part of growing up, and I know it's different when it puts somebody's life at risk, but I was okay. And I've never done that to my legs in all of my years of injecting drugs, and I mostly use for pain. I will touch on that. I will go into that in detail, and my boring health conditions, which are really debilitating, and the reason I use drugs, always the reason I go back to them eventually, if it's not my weight. And despite almost dying and dying now from multiple different things that are all at least partially linked to drugs, despite this being a fairly negative video, or a negative reason for me to be even posting, hoping that no one sees it that knows me, until I'm clear. I've been clean for ages, and I have loads of clean videos up. Fuck up my makeup, my parents coming over in a minute. Despite the negative, like almost dying all month, and like I think everyone knows it, everyone that's in my immediate circle, I suppose. Despite that, there are still a few things that I don't regret from this relapse, from these relapses the last month. There's still a few things that I'm gonna miss when I fully sober up, when I've had sleep, like being able to walk and get dressed and wash and eat, because I can't do any of those things at the moment because I'm too disabled. I can't do any of them most of the time. You know, it can take me like 3 hours to crawl 3 feet to my phone to call for help when I faint, which is at least for a couple times a day, most days at the moment. I have seizures at least every week. I don't have any relationships or friendships that don't either revolve around addiction, or the other person can't see me because I'm too disabled. So I used to be able to well enough to get to the toilet, wash, dress myself and eat, and then like that's all I fight to be well enough to do most days, you know. And it's hard to not enjoy the amount of mobility I have when I am intoxicated on that many drugs. Like last night, for instance, I'd already been up for 2 or 3 nights last night, so this was like the tail end of addiction. I didn't even use since yesterday morning, and that I'd really cut down by that day. I think I used about 4 days in a row this time, which is exactly how long it takes for me to end up going mental and getting sectioned. I did this, and then it was stuck on properly because I was high, obviously. But made that, so I'd go busking. Started writing a song. I had a bath. Made this festival hat. Got to the toilet all by myself. Made an eye on the top. Washed my hair. Stood up out of the bath without fainting, which I've not been able to do for weeks. And I had to take an extra dose of Mounjaro today. It's only been like 3.5 days since I last redosed, but just since going back on that high sugar diet, all of my drugs cravings are back. My quality of life's a shit. It's all I think about all fucking day. I can't be around other addicts in the meetings because I don't have anything in common with them, because they just take Mounjaro and bang, I'm not an addict anymore. And it's taking an oddly long time for my body to go back to being its normal level of disabled, of me coming down on drugs. Whereas usually I go from being totally able-bodied to fucking paralysed for the next 3 weeks, and that change happens in about 2 hours. So it's not long enough to like be like, no way, I'm not coming down yet, fuck off, I'm not going back to be bedbound, like not being able to fucking, on my bad days, I can't even cough up spit to stop myself choking. I have to just blink twice for yes, or once for yes and twice for no, or someone bottle feeds me and they have to hold and support my spine and the back of my head. If they let go, I flop, even if it's concrete on the floor. And they have to hold me up and just feed me some water really slowly, and I blink twice and I've had enough so that I don't choke because I can't cough. Like that's how disabled I am a lot of the fucking time. And it's no fucking life. It's no life. And because I go so long without using my wheelchair, it's shit in itself, because when you do go out in a wheelchair, the whole day just becomes work and you fit a fucking wheelchair, and you can't just stand up and walk for a little bit because you're feeling okay for now, you've got enough energy, your body's working for now, and it probably will work for the next half an hour, that you can't just stand up because everyone stares at you and go, oh, faker. And I was the same before I was disabled. If I saw somebody electric wheelchair to their car, and then stand up, get up and put the wheelchair in the car, I think, you fucking faking piece of shit. I feel like putting a sign on the back of it, if I could find words that I could print big enough in a sentence, small enough to put, like, I am an ambulatory wheelchair user. I personally work on questions, but not everybody does. Oh my god, it's a miracle. I can walk again. Actually, I can walk a little bit. But don't be a cunt, come and ask a question. That's what I'm going to scribble. If you see me walking, don't be a cunt, come and ask questions. Yeah. But I don't really go out anyway. I get 1 day out of the house a month, really, and then I'm in bed for 2 weeks after. And since being a Mounjaro, or when I don't eat, I just, yeah, that's for another video, but like, all of my symptoms get better from not eating until my weight's really low. And then that comes with its own challenges, like I'm suffering now. But I'm doing alright mentally. I'm since redosing on the Mounjaro. I'm just gonna hold on to this heart and remember what it's like to not be too disabled. Into my belly, yeah. Borderline happy and borderline sad. Borderline calm and I'm borderline mad. Shit. That's a whole extra dose. I fucked up. Took way too much. I'm gonna be very fucking sick. I can taste it in my mouth. And that wasn't 15 today. That was 20 milligrams. 4 days after injecting a 10. This is why people who are on lots of drugs probably shouldn't be on it. Yeah, it's the least guaranteed risk of dying that I have right now. Been about 8 hours since overdosing on Mounjaro. Got very cold and hot. My arms are cold and my hands are freezing. And my chest is boiling. My feet are burning and hot. But my legs are ice cold. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. And I've lived through much worse than this. I think my body's in shock a little bit, medical shock. So I was laid with my feet elevated. It's got a very metallic taste of blood in my mouth and my saliva. Last time I took even close to this amount, my stomach, I threw up blood, and these kind of symptoms, and my heart rate stayed at about 200 beats per minute. It's like 140 at the moment. It's not too high for, like, my overdoses. Last time I did anything close to this, I was like this for about 4 to 5 days. So I'm alright though, I feel very happy. Very good to be mentally stable, totally mentally calm. I don't feel any panic. Great, mentally. And the pain, I'm in a lot of pain, but it's not bothering me because it's not having any emotional effect on me. So it's not bothering me. I guess I'm a bit dehydrated. There's sharp stabbing pains in my stomach, intermittent around the taste of blood actually. If I move too quick, roll over, it feels like someone doing this with my intestines. Little update, I'm okay. My heart slowed down quite a bit. I'm in a lot of pain. It's like my heart, I forgot about the heart pain, chest pain that you get. It's just insane. On Mounjaro, when I first started, I was pretty much this ill for like 5 months, but it's worth it because it fixed my drug addiction. I've slept for a good, I have 2 to 3 hours sleep, and then I don't know where my fucking walking sticks are, so ow! I'm doing okay. Much better than earlier. I'm keeping my fluids up, having a slushy. Fucking love these things. I'm not sponsored or anything. Give over. Balls and Minges, B&M, that is where these are from. It's like Walmart, but for the UK. That's enough, mine. No alcohol. I don't really like alcohol, right? I'm gonna try and go lay down or something because I've been like sweating. And just, yeah, I feel very happy though. Very chill. I had some painkillers. I think last thing on this vid, because I need to start putting this shit up in order and not just like, yeah, but if I don't put this up now, I will never put my documentary up. I know it, so this level of health is so much better than how I was I don't feel any hunger at all, to the point, like, it feels like, the only way I can kind of compare it to right now is if someone said, how many times today have you thought about a red car when you're inside and you can't hear any traffic? Like, that, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that thing existed. Or ice fishing in Alaska, right? How many times have you personally thought about that today? Like, what? I remember that exists, but I've not thought about that. What? Who? That's what it feels like anytime someone's like, have you eaten today? I'm like, oh yeah, food. I forgot food exists because I don't need it. I feel like that on Mounjaro could be a bit dangerous. But also, a reason why I really get on with I think I have more in common with the weight loss community on Mounjaro, because you need food to live, and food is their addiction. And with having so much chronic illness and pain, I need drugs to be able to survive. I need medication, I need pain meds, and the doctors do not prescribe them in the UK for pain patients. I don't know anyone under 50 that gets morphine or like a decent painkiller, and you're not allowed to just have them for a bit when you're in pain and then not take them when you don't need them. You have to either have them and then they take you off them forever. Like, it's just stupid. I never even touched hard drugs before I was in pain, and they wouldn't give me anything. I've got so much more to come. And yeah, if I survive this, I fucking will survive this. I'll be fine. On Friday, I'll be alright. Try and get some sleep. I'm not weighing myself. I'm underweight. I'm 5'10" ish. And standing up this straight where my stomach's bleeding is actually way straight. Usually I'd be stood like this, walking around like that, barely able to even hold my head up. And I've just stood leaning like this. This is progress for me. This is like my normal level of disability. But when my stomach's bad, and it's bad. Alright, peace and love, thanks for watching. I hope I don't worry anybody, and I will give a check-in to let you know that I'm okay, or whatever happens with this overdose, because I've never overdosed on Mounjaro to this amount. I don't think anybody has on the internet. The tolerance of 10 milligrams, I actually took 25 milligrams in 4 days. Bad. So wish me luck. And coming very fucking soon will be my Diary of an Addict Not in Recovery, or the Mounjaro for drug addiction. I really think it can cure it. It was curing mine until I started using it again, but that's every fucking drug cure, isn't it? Peace and love.